All right, I want to welcome everybody to today's 30 Minutes with Mark. My name is Mark Stepp. I'm the Chief Innovation Officer here at Realvolve and your host for today's webinar. You know, John, part of our marketing group in our main office, was looking back and looking at some older videos that I had done, and he noticed, the marketing person that he is, I guess, he noticed that there was a lot of hits on some of the older videos in this series, and we kind of decided to bring it back, look at the different things that has been happening within Realvolve, and also do some different types of interviews and stuff with people. So we wanted to just kind of start this one out again, a little introduction to what it is we're doing and how Realvolve has been progressing with some updates and stuff. So want to spend just a few minutes going over some updates, going over some ideas on how to use those updates, and make sure that everybody understands. We'll also include some of the Q&A time at the very end. 30 minutes is not a lot of time, but we're going to try to fill it with as much content and as much excitement as possible here. So let's just go ahead and take a quick overview of what we're looking at. First off, we had a huge change within the dashboard, a little bit of a new look and stuff, a change in speed. One of our focuses these next few updates, we call them sprints. Every sprint that our engineers do is within a 2-week time period. We take the first week basically for design development. The second week goes into doing testing, changes, more testing, more changes until we get it the way we want it, and then we release it. So we wanted to concentrate on speed, and as we were doing the speed changes on the dashboard, it's like, wow, there's some things that we could really do just to spruce up the look and make sure it looks good. So we're going to look at that. We're going to look at the new custom filters that we've done, the same type of thing there. Because we've added a bunch of new fields, we went through looking at the design, knowing that you can only fit so much information on the screen with the filters. We decided to go with a different look and design on that, and I'm going to go through that process. Our mobile updates, for those people that are not using the iPhone or are unaware that it's out there, I continue to get questions about, do we have iPhone capabilities? Yes, we do. And yes, we will be and are working towards getting that design for the Androids. So we hear you. The whole design group have heard you guys loud and clear, and we're working towards getting that Android piece as well. So hang tight on that. It will be coming. In the development process of software, it really makes sense, especially with mobile, since we're not just creating a web version of mobile. These are actual native versions of the software. We decided to go with iPhone first. In this particular industry, it tends to be highly dominated by iPhone, so that's why we went first. Once all the design pieces are done in it and gotten to where we want it, then we'll move into the Android so we can focus just on putting the things in and not having to reinvent for 2 different systems. Something that was just released today was some changes to the signatures, headers, and footers for our enhanced version of the template editor. And I'm going to cover that, explain to you why we're doing that, and then we'll do some of the Q&A. So the overall look of the design of this dashboard has really not changed that much, other than the colors kind of made it streamlined a little bit. You will notice that there is a team reporting or widget that we added, and that's for our teams that have lots of agents. You want to be able to see some of these numbers. More is coming to this. Because we're concentrating on the speed, we had already gotten this far on this particular one. It's like, well, we might as well go ahead and at least release this part. We'll be adding a lot more pieces to this team reporting. We've had a lot of input on where that's going, where that needs to go, and what we're going to be doing. But it does give you the ability to see other users within your system to see where they're at on volume stuff. Now, this is mainly for your admins. If you are a sub-user, you will not probably see this unless your admin gives you access to this. Typically, this would be for your administrative staff to be able to see where you're at and help you guys do stuff. For those that are not aware, up here at the top, there is an option for turning this feature on and off. You can move things around, do stuff for placing them where you want. You can remove some of these widgets if you just don't need them, and that just makes it easy to design it up. One of the new features that we added on here, a lot of people were saying, well, there's times when I want to see my widgets and there's times when I don't. So we did add the up and down arrow up here in the upper right corner so that you can either hide it or show it. If you hide it, you leave the screen, you come back, it'll stay hidden. So in addition to staying hidden, it will also speed up the display. So keeping it hidden until you need it is certainly feasible. Whenever you want to see it, it'll bring it in. All the widgets do load faster. That was one of the concentrations on what we were doing, was making sure each of the widgets load just as quickly as possible. Some of them where it was taking 3 or 4 seconds now is in the milliseconds. A millisecond, for every 1 second, there's 1,000 milliseconds. And some of these have gotten down to like 300 milliseconds, which is a third of a second, trying to speed all those things up and make it a lot faster. So hope you guys enjoy that particular feature. I know you don't really enjoy something until you're in that moment where you really want to get some speed out of it, and you get frustrated whenever you don't see that speed, and that's hopefully where you'll get that enjoyment. The next thing that I want to really take a look at is the custom filters. Now, we just released this over the July 4th holiday, and this is super exciting for me because I've been wanting it for some time. And it's just a matter of making sure that everything else was in place. While we were in there, we've added a bunch of new fields. And if you go into any particular name in here, let me just go into Annie as an example. If you go into the Context tab, you will see that we've added some additional fields. We have added some additional date fields. We've also added some additional drop-down fields. We do have like the stage, the contact status. We've had those in a while. We've added the contact type. A lot of people were saying, well, I've got lots of clients, but I've also got vendors. I want to segregate my clients from my vendors. You can now do that using the contact type. We've got clients, agents, farm. So you can put somebody in a farm and then use tags to identify what, if you've got multiple farms, which farm it is. This allows you to make, it's almost like a segregated, separate database of names. So you can pull up and say, show me all my clients, or show me all my agents in the area, or whatever. Now, a lot of people had used tags for this, and tags is totally acceptable, but we wanted to be able to break them out a little bit better so that on the dashboard, whenever we're counting your relationship scores and your R factors, that it mainly just deals with those people that are your prospects and your clients. So your clients, your farms, and your personal are part of the R factor, where vendors and agents would not be. So just a way to deal with that. There are some other numbers that factor into those relationship scores and stuff, but that's just a kind of an overview. But we've added these extra fields in here, and we were running out of spaces for being able to filter them. We had, at one point, we had 8 separate filter buttons up here so you can filter through them. Well, with the addition of the fields, it just became a real challenge fitting all those filters on there. Did we drop down and make more? And it's like, there's really a better way. And the better way is this. By clicking on, normally you'd see just all contacts here, but that shows everybody in your database. You can click on Create New Filter, and from Create New Filter, it will show you in a vertical list, as opposed to the horizontal list of icons we had, the individual tags, categories, record owner, filters that are available. So you can come in here, say, well, I want to tag everything that is, newsletter. Well, one of the things that's been a big improvement here is just the amount of tags that you can see. In the old version, the list was really kind of hard to see. It was quite a bit smaller. You couldn't do a lot of stuff. So now you can come in here, you can select the different filters, and as it selects it, it also shows you the count up at the top, so you can do things with those as well, and find out how many's in that group. So maybe I want to narrow my list down to those people that are in the top so many records, and I can do that by selecting them, see how many's in that list, and then go on. So just a quick way of selecting it. Whenever you choose an item like that, click on Next, then it will bring up and show you what you've selected. So in that tag area, it now says, you know, any of newsletter. If there's multiples in there, it would show each one of those. We can go into the category and select, well, I want to see all my A's and my B's, and you know, click Next on that. If I need to change something, maybe I want to widen this up and I want to get more people in there, and you know, grab whatever other classifications or tags that I want to include in that list, and very easily select them and go through. Once I've reselected my list, then it will show the changes in there. So as you go along, you make your selections. This is a lot better because in the old version, we could see that certain ones were selected, but we couldn't tell what they were. Now we can see what they are, so that's a huge improvement there. One of the concentrations on what we're doing is in speed, and while this particular piece doesn't have all the speed changes in it, it's an ease of use change, which is also a focus on what we're doing. So that's there. Now, once you've got your selection of the categories that you want, you can come down here and name this search. Maybe I can say, you know, church newsletter, or, you know, whatever I want to put this as my, you know, A and B newsletter, whatever I want to call that, and then click on apply. Whenever I apply that, it saves it, it tells me that's in there, and then it shows me those people that are in that group over here on the left-hand side. I could have, at any time, while I was in that filtering piece, gone ahead and click on the View All. Once I've selected something, if I want to go back and view all, I can click on the View All. If I want to change to a different group, a different list of some sort, just my A's and B's, I can do that. So now I don't have, for those common filters that you use regularly, you can save them, and you don't have to go in there and reselect them each time. This will be a big time saver for you guys as well. If you look at this and you think, oh, okay, now this one's a little bit obvious, A's and B, but the AB newsletter, maybe that's not quite as obvious. If I wanted to see what that selection pertains to as far as the summary of it, which fields, in this case it's just the A or B group, I can do that. I can look and choose this and do the same thing for the little I, and it gives me the summary of what has been selected while still keeping my list here. Now, if I change my sorting, this will go away anytime that I click here to do some sorting. If I wanted to sort by one of the date fields or something, if I wanted to pull up, you know, a birthday group or whatever and see where their birthdays were, I can certainly do that and see the dates that go along with those. So the main emphasis on this was, you know, making it easier for you guys to pull up the filters, making sure that you guys can access those easily, and also the additional filters that we needed. If we come down here to the create a new filter, you will see that we've added several new ones down here at the bottom. We've added these additional, the contact type, the relationship scoring. So now you can say, hey, show me everybody that's got a relationship score of a certain, you know, range of some sort. Maybe anything above a 50 or anything below a 30. You can do some range checking there if you come in here and, you know, select the different ranges and stuff, and it'll pick everything up and show it that way. So some cool capabilities there for selecting range. Same thing for stage. If you want to find everybody that's an aware, know, like, or trust, or any combination of those, you can do that, as well as the contact status. So another one that I wanted to share for those people, now I'm going to operate it off of my mobile. So this is just a preview of my mobile screen. One of the things that we've been busy with on mobile is making sure that certain features are in here. Anytime that you go into your contacts, you've got the ability to, you know, scroll through these over on the right-hand side, be able to scroll through the alphabet, or if you click on the top, you can find people by first name, last name, or whatever. Okay, so here's a one of my records. One of the things that we added fairly recently was the wrap it up feature. So say, for instance, I'm going to call this number. I place a call. Yeah, I want to call it. So it dials, and that's telling me, hey, leave a message type stuff because I'm already on this because I'm calling myself. As soon as I hang up from that call, it gives me some quick capabilities. One of the things is, was the call successful? If that call is successful, it does update the last call date on the contact record for you. You can come in here and put in any kind of notes. Call Mark about listing his property. Just make sure that we call him back on the 12th. Wants to know more. Okay, so you can use voice command on that. Oop. You can use voice command on that, and then we can come over here and say the next action. Well, the next action can be to set up an appointment or to start a workflow. You can come down and actually start workflows if you want, which is really cool. Say I wanted to call Mark, and of course if I have to spell it correctly, that may be a challenge. Come up here and place a call and schedule it for, let me get rid of my keyboard here, for the 12th. And done, and save up in the upper right-hand corner. Now, that particular activity has been saved for Mark. It's been put into my calendar. So I can come over here to the calendar side, and you can see things that are, it defaults to what's due today. So you can see those things that that you should do today. You can click on the past area to click on and see anything that's past due. I can also go over to the schedule area to see what's due in a particular day and actually add additional activities if I want. Or I can go through the different days that are available and see what's available. Or I can pick a given day, so I'm going to go on the 12th. So there's that call Mark activity. I can click on that. I can see that I'm supposed to call it because it's a call. You'll see the little phone over here on the right. I can click on that phone to place that phone call. It's asking which number do I want to call. So I'll call the phone. I'll just hang up. It comes up to this. You'll see down here at the bottom it does have mark as complete. It knows that it came from an activity that was to place the call. I can go and say, yeah, go ahead and complete that activity as well, just like I could do other things. Had the call with Mark, everything went well. He's going to list tomorrow. Make sure that we get everything that he needs for proper pricing. Thanks. How cool is that? So now that puts it on there. It goes ahead and marks that activity as complete. Say, for instance, I'm over here, and let me go to schedule and go back to the 12th one. Here's Mark. Okay, so I can click on Mark here, and for instance, here on the mobile, maybe I want to do something with that mobile number besides calling. Whenever I click on it, it gives me the option to either message, FaceTime. Since I'm on an Apple, I can FaceTime it or I can call. If I click on message, it does now ask, do we want to send from the device, meaning you want to actually send a text message from your mobile phone the way you would normally send a mobile phone piece. The problem with it is it doesn't track it within Realvolve. Or do you want to send it through Realvolve? So if I click on Realvolve, it gives me the ability to type in my message right here, and at the same time, it goes ahead and logs that information into the Radar tab. So you can see all your conversations and stuff that goes back and forth on that. The same type of thing for the phone. Not mobile, I'm sorry, for email. If I click on email, say I want to email that, I do have the ability to email through my device or through Realvolve. The nice thing about doing it through Realvolve is it brings it up as our stuff, but you can also select which template that you want. So if I wanted to send a referral agent piece, then it goes ahead and brings in that template. And not only that, I can come down here and preview it if I want to preview it just to see what it's going to look like. So you really get the full aspects of the Realvolve app on your iPhone. So a lot of cool features there. Once you send that message, then let me just go ahead and send that. Then it will also show up in the contact record information as well. So if I come over here to notes even, there's the subject that I just sent. This is the notes in this contact. So here's the two notes that I sent to myself, call Mark about listing, and then also how to call with Mark that I just did. But then also it shows the email that was sent as well. So I can look at it, I can see what I sent and all that. So some really cool, nice features there. So the last thing that I wanted to cover, and I know we're running out of time here, so I'm going to cover this as quickly as possible, is this. A couple months ago, we added and did some changes to our template editors. So before, we just had this one editor where it had some very basic controls, and it was great for sending out a message. But if you wanted to spend some time to make a more formatted HTML layouted type of flyer type email, you know, something that's really pretty, it wasn't really easy to do. Maybe you created the template from MailChimp or some other HTML editor, and you came in and you pasted it in here. It didn't always look the way it should. So what we did is whenever you create a new template, we now offer this enhanced version. And the enhanced version has got a much greater HTML capacity for doing tables editing, the image editing, all the things that are available within a really good HTML editor are in this one. And we just, in the old version, it didn't have it. The problem that we ran into was that all the signatures, the headers, and the footers were originally designed in the old editor. And if you tried to send an HTML document with an older designed HTML editor, it didn't look quite right. Okay? We have a footer, we have a header, and we have signature. So if I come in here to signature, you'll see that it has a signature of Joe Agent. You'll now see that there's also one called Signature Enhanced. And what this is a second signature that should look like your main signature, but it's used for any time that you use the enhanced editor, it will use this one. If you continue to use the basic editor, it will use this one. So as you make changes, if you make changes to your signature here, say agent, now I'm CRS, whatever, and I click on save, it will give you a little indicator at the top saying, hey, just a reminder to change your enhanced one as well. So we come over here to the enhanced one, and we can make the appropriate change here as well, CRS, and click on save. And it'll do the same thing. Just make sure if you made any changes. So now you can make them look correct at the same time dealing with our issue with having two different editors that actually gives you two different results. Yes, this is a nuisance. We apologize. But for those people that really wanted the enhanced capabilities of an enhanced editor, we needed to do this. The reason why we didn't convert everything over was because the old editor had some specialized editing features in it that really weren't following HTML specs. It looked good, but it didn't work as well. So using this HTML editor, it really gives us the full aspects of HTML, its capabilities, without having to deal with some of the idiosyncrasies of the basic editor. But now that you've got the enhanced signature, just make sure that you guys go in, you look at your signatures, make sure they look the way they're supposed to look. If they need to be changed, go ahead and change them. Once you change it and save it in both places, you're golden. You're good. So we shouldn't be seeing any more challenges with that. That's pretty much that. So I'm going to go back. We just have a few questions, and we'll make sure that I answer those as much as possible. I signed up for Realvolve and bought the Dig Suite. How do I determine which template is correct to a workflow? Okay, so whenever you're doing a workflow, this is really getting out there, but whenever you go to a workflow, I'm going to just choose the new listing one just to show you. And I click on down arrow. No, that one doesn't have We go 5-star listing escrow. I just want to find one that maybe has emails. Okay, so here's one that's got an email. This one's going to have a template. So whenever you look at the workflow and individual activity, you'll see down here there's an action. If you click on that action, you will see that it shows you that I'm going to send a message. I'm sending it manually. I'm sending it as an email message versus a SMS or whatever. And right here it tells you which template that you're using. So that's the name of it. We will be adding, part of the ease of use feature is going to be a little ... button, so you can actually just pull it up right here, so you don't have to switch screens. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll come over here, right click on templates and open that up in a new tab, and then you can look at not only your workflows, but you can look at your templates at the same time and just do a quick search for SE013, SE013. And there's, oh no, actually that's not it. I probably don't have it. I've been adding and deleting templates in this template or in my training site, so it may not even have it. Oh no, there it is, SE03. There it is. So in this case, I'm looking at it, and then I can go back over here to my workflow. If I want to change it, I can change it or whatever as well there. Prefix, middle name, suffix fields. Yeah, we've been looking in on that. Complete is on the iOS app. Ah, okay. Thank you, Jonathan. I'll take a look at that and get our team on that one. Not sure how we missed that one. Is there any way, is there any full list of fields for contacts, properties, or trends so we know how to identify fields for creating new templates? Most every field that we have for templates is by the name of the field that's in there. In our workflow workbook, we do have a list. If you go to help.realvolve.com and do a search for fields, it'll bring it up. But one thing that you guys should know, if you don't know, I want to make sure you know it now, is whenever you're going to add in a new field of some sort, if you put in bracket, and you type anything about that field name, say for instance I want to do something like due diligence. If I type in the word due, actually I guess this is a property, so it wouldn't have due diligence. Say alarm. You know, I can do alarm, A-L-A-R-M, and it will bring up anything that has the word alarm in it. So as long as you know what field you're trying to use, which should have some kind of name in there, just type in what it is. Once you get this list, select it from the list, and then it will correct the full merge field for you. I just started doing the bracket to pull up a list, but most of the parties don't show up. If you just put in bracket, now the other thing that you've got to remember is your parties are determined based off of the use with. So if you've got, if you're in the property section, it's only going to be the properties party members. If you've got a transaction, there's going to be more party members. So there is a difference there. If you're dealing with the properties, you're dealing with listings, and that's going to be your sellers, your in some of your handyman, your seller's agent, stuff like that. As soon as you get a buyer, then we're also talking about lenders, appraisers, and all these other party members that would handle the transactional side. So if this is transaction, you're going to get a lot more party members. So just a heads up on that. Let's see, why isn't just print an option in the VIA? It's coming, so hang tight on that. We are getting ready to add print. Add separate field for address to calendar. Yes, we will be adding that to the mobile. There will be a piece on that. Actually, if on the mobile, actually I was thinking something else on that. I think the address is on the activities if you're talking about an activity. If I have a, let me just see real quickly here if I've got any. Yeah, so let me switch back over to my screen here. So here is an activity. If you'll look, we have a link here for a person. Here is Jake Stepp. but here's an activity for the property. So if I click on that property, it takes me to that property. So there is a link on the property itself for that. I think that's what you're asking. When displaying a list of contacts, can we select which columns to display? Not yet, but again, that's on our list. Sorry to say that's on the list all the time, but we do have a lot of things on the list, just not there yet. For instance, I like addresses for showings that I schedule. So yes, if you assign the showing, if you assign the property, Jonathan, to the activity, you add the address to that activity, it will show on the activity itself on the mobile. So you're golden there. All right. Well, guys, we are 15 minutes past my 30-minute with Mark. I truly appreciate everybody's input, and thank you guys for joining us. I will certainly try to answer if there's any of them that I missed. Here's another one. When exporting to a CSV, we can choose only certain columns to export. You can, whenever you're exporting, you can choose a lot of fields on that export. If I come over here and say I want to export more, I can come over here, click on the export option. We have all these different fields that are available that you can pick and choose from, and I think most all of them are in there. If they're not, let me know, but they should all be in there. And so you can pick and choose which fields you want to export. If there's something that you don't want, you can remove it from the list. If you want to move it up or down, you can do that as well. But a lot of good stuff there. I appreciate all the hard work and the answers to my questions. Bravo. Oh, thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate that. This was great. This was great. Thank you. Thank you. Is that a fairly recent change, Sarah? As far as the export, this export has been here. I think we did this like in January-ish, somewhere around there. It's a heck of a technical term, January-ish. If you go to our website, realvolve.com, and scroll all the way down to the bottom of the list, and I know we probably need to put this in a different spot in the actual app. There is this option here for product updates. And this will give you a list of all the updates that we've had since the beginning of time, almost. They do go back, and we do break them up by, you can filter them. I guess they go back to 2014. But you can go in there and see all the different available updates and see what's available. A lot of these, and I'm the one that typically adds them in here. I try to add if there's any kind of articles that we've added. I've started doing that. So like here on the filters, there's an article here, so you click on that, and it'll take you to the little training and the information about that update and stuff that's on there. At the very bottom of this, there's also a link to a PDF of basically the same thing. It's just in a PDF version. So if you guys want to print these out, you can, and put them into a Realvolve notebook of some sort and have them available. So trying to make a lot of documentation type stuff available to you at the time that it's actually available. I did not get, and slap my hand because I just said I'm trying to do it, I did not get the signature header footer piece completed, and I was trying to do that before I got to this webinar, but it just did not happen, so sorry about that. Anything else? You guys are great, thanks. I appreciate that. Thank you everybody for attending. We're going to try doing this like every, at least once a month, and try to knock out some of these things so we can answer questions and also explain better some of the updates that are happening. We've got some really, really exciting things happening with speed. I'm going to give you just a quick comment there. Last week, Dave and I went to Phoenix, Arizona. We spent time with a couple of the users there, some bigger teams, and as soon as we got there and we said, okay, what's your biggest challenge? Both of them said speed, and we knew that. We've been identifying the types of things that we can do for speed. We've been hitting some of the back-end speed stuff. Things are getting faster, but not really where it counts. So one of the things that our team has been working on is on the search. If you go into the search and you do, you come up to the dashboard piece here and you click on somebody's name, say, just Mark. Type in enter 1, 2. On mine, it went pretty fast, but on a couple of them, it was taking 3 and 4 seconds. Now, part of that is the network. I really feel like there were some network issues, but there is lag time there. So the team has been working really, really hard at making some changes, and I've got another site here just for me testing my stuff. And one of the things that we have done in this is whenever you do a search for Mark, instead of taking 4 seconds, again, it's in that 300, 400 milliseconds, like a half a second, to bring back the record information. So you guys are going to see some tremendous improvement in speed and capabilities there for the search in lots of different places. The other thing that's really cool, and I'm going to give you a little primer here, a lot of you have been asking for the ability to do partial, like using wildcard characters. So, say for instance, I want to, well, if I do a search for like Stepp, one of the things that it does is we're looking for words that are in there. Actually, let me change it to a name search just so it's a little bit more specific here. So it has somewhere in there Stepp. One of the things that we are changing is that if you do a partial search, TEPP, it won't find it unless you add in the front either a question mark or an asterisk. Now we can do partial searches for things. So beginning with or ending with is now going to be available. That's as soon as we get this. That's for you guys that stuck around, you get to see a little preemptive things that we're doing. But definitely you're going to see a major improvement in speed. That's what we're testing right now. It's already done. We're just in the testing phases, making sure everything returns back the way it's supposed to. So hope you guys enjoy that. All right, guys, I took way too much of your time, so thank you for attending. Talk to you later. Bye.